Serious people how lot fix computers for a living. What was the weirdest / scariest thing you've seen on somebody's computer? I used to work for a company that did sewer inspection software sales and support. And from time to time we'd have a client pay up to have us fix a computer. One guy just dropped his in a box, filled the space with packing peanuts, and sent it. I spent a good while plucking smushed styrofoam out of the power supply before I was prepared to plug that thing in. Another issue is that many computers would come back with this tacky orange dust all on the inside. No, not rust. See, these machines would sit in a truck that also contained all manner of hardware that gets lowered into sewer pipes. Yeah, poo dust. We'd basically wipe them down as well as we could with isopropyl alcohol and then turn them on before we left for the day so as much of the material as possible could burn off while no one was physically present. On the software side of things, I once had a client call and with a machine running stupid slow, I fire up Task Manager and see that half his CPU time was being chewed up by a VM. Weird. Some further digging and I can see that this VM is chatting really heavy with a server somewhere. I do some searching on this server and it's one of those Bitcoin mining share servers. So yeah, Homeless had a concealed VM on his system to mine for Bitcoin. No way this was the operator. I doubt he'd ever heard of Bitcoin, but I have my suspicions about their IT department. I fell once for a Bitcoin mining virus, but it used 99% of my CPU. I was a fool to fall for that, but was still a kid. Gladly managed to get rid of it without formatting the safe mode and malwarebytes. Back when I was a little sugar and spread viruses for cash and fun, I'd make sure my auto-dropped Bitcoin miner only used 10% of processing power for this very reason lol. In the late 90s I worked for a place that would refurbish computers and sell them to South America. One day a customer called and started screaming about our garbage that doesn't work. It is shipped back, and when we opened it up we could smell the smoke from whatever happened. Turns out a 3-inch bug had crawled in and got fried. It was still in there, nice and crispy. I hate it when I find bugs in my code. I was doing tech support for a high-speed internet company, and I had to do a remote connection to help the customer set up his email settings for Outlook. As soon as his desktop popped up on my screen I couldn't help but be very aware of his desktop picture, which was of a rather beefy looking completely nude red-headed man splayed out. I quickly opened Outlook to cover his desktop image and proceeded to set it up for him. At the end of the call I asked the customer if there was anything else I could help him with. He asked if I was a redhead by chance. I replied no sir, I'm actually bald. Thank you for calling tech support today and hung up. I used to work as a fire dog tech at Circuit City before they went out of business. Found CP, child porn, on a customer machine that was brought in to have some more RAM installed. Ended up contacting the FBI, and they sent an agent to our store to verify everything. He took the machine and brought it into a back office for several hours going through the entire hard drive. The door was locked and guarded by other agents, while this one agent went through whatever god-awful procedure he needed to go through. Looking at all of the photos, we called the customer back and let them know their machine was ready for pickup and had the feds waiting there to arrest him. Never got any follow-up. I was a tech for a now defunct computer big box store as well, not CC. Also found CP. Our process was to report to the store manager, which I did. Next day the police came and took the system. Years later I was telling the story and someone asked when it had occurred. I think I nabbed a city council person of the town I worked in. When starting out in it, I worked for Geek Squad. I think the weirdest thing I found was a folder on the desktop of a computer labeled cow porn. The folder was filled with multiple images of a ass and cow's anus. I don't know if it was homemade or downloaded from somewhere, but after 3 years of repairing computers that's been the worst. A redditor informed me that I was missing an apostrophe. I'm terribly sorry for the heartache I have caused. That's when you call the FBI for a folder named CP on somebody's computer and they find this. Glad it wasn't that though I guess. A gecko skeleton wedged in a CPU fan. It was overheating for some reason. Lack of car insurance. In just 15 minutes, he saved 15 degrees on his CPU temperature. I have worked in it for 20 years either as a tech or managing it slash support teams. Here are some things I have seen. At a company that worked with medical transcriptionists, 10k of them all remote workers, we would have computers come back that were covered in tar slash residue from smokers. We had some come back with rat turds in them. And not just a little bit. We had one come back that had over 100 cockroaches in it. We always shuddered thinking about what these people's houses looked like. After the cockroach situation, a new rule was created. All boxes are to be opened outside for inspection prior to being brought inside. When I was in the Navy, I saw a laptop that someone spilled a bucket of floor wax on. About 4 months ago, I received a laptop that someone had left in their camper that had a slide out. When they went to put the slide back in, it crushed the laptop. The user reported it as "I'm having some laptop issues." As far as files go, so much porn on company computers. But nothing illegal. Just poor choices. Pro tip: don't store your personal files on your work equipment. If you are fired, you will most likely not be able to get them back. This request is not uncommon. Pro tip: if you are fired, don't take your company laptop to a public repair shop to be wiped, so you can keep it. If you do this in Florida, for example, and the company laptop has sensitive data, healthcare is the industry I'm in, trying to destroy that data is a felony. Don't be dumb. When my sister-in-law moved out of college, she decided to put her laptop in the trunk first, then stack everything she owned on top of it. I was able to swap out the broken screen with a screen from an old laptop that was an inch or two smaller. I used a couple of big binder clips to hold the screen in the frame, and it worked good as new. The only problem was the binder clips made the repairs pretty obvious to her parents. I did data recovery for a guy who had a very specific porn fetish that he was not at all shy about. In fact, he said that the porn was all he wanted me to recover. There. What was it, you ask? Big titted MILFs dressed in WW2 era Germanic cloths having car troubles in 50s 70s vintage cars. Mostly just videos of women's tits jiggling while pressing the gas. Like 50 videos of that exact scenario. I couldn't even make this sugar up. I don't. Yeah, there ya go. Wow, that's so specific. No wonder that's all he wanted you to recover. Probably took him a while to build the collection, lol. I once had my computer fixed. At the time I was writing fiction. One story was about falling in love in the time of algorithms. When I got my computer back, there were these amazing graphs of varied algorithms open on my desktop. They were amazingly detailed and beautiful. I never called to find out why they were When I was little, I used a program that found every image on your computer. Ended up finding a file of a small boy with a knife to his genitalia on a family friend's computer. I showed my mom, but I'm not sure she ever inquired about it. You should follow up. Depending on your age at the time, she may have just not believed you. Hey, whatever happened with X over that picture with the knife to some kid's junk? Oh, I showed her the picture on the computer. But honestly, my mom is the type to just explain things away herself. Worst thing I had to repair was a computer with a spill accident. The explanation was they spilled a beer on the laptop. The only detail missing was that the beer was already consumed. Damn, that thing reeked like hell. Spent a few years as an in-store tech for BBY before the Geek Squad was a thing. 1. I didn't see it, fortunately, but one of my co-workers found CP on a machine owned by a teenager. The cops were not called, but the store called the dude's grandfather. Harlot was raising the K. And I'm pretty sure that he beat the sugar out of the kid after destroying the laptop. Top 2. We took in a computer that wouldn't boot because it was infested with cockroaches. We refused to work on it, and backed it up. 3. I took in a computer with the complaint that it was losing power regularly, and had an odd odor. I let it run for a few minutes on the bench, and it caught fire. So I found fire in the computer. 4. Smokers are bad. Smokers with tons of pets are the worst. The fur and dander would get sucked into the computer along with the smoke. And there would be nicotine coated fur covering everything. 5. There was always porn of wide variety. Some people were even pretty proud of their collection and would tell you to open something up without warning, just to get a reaction. 6. Since we were also in store techs, not just Geek Squad computer techs, we took in VCRs and DVD players frequently to work on them. It wasn't uncommon for people to have left their porn in there. Well, we had to take media out to work on the machine. And some of the techs took special joy in holding back the media to make the person ask for their property by name. I won't lie, I did laugh at some of the products. I too have experienced too during my time in the Geek Squad. The customer lot dropped off the PC in a hurricane. And when we called them to come take it back because we refused to work on it, they refused until it was done. So it got bagged up and left out on the curb in a heavily sealed trash bag. They came back in to yell at us. Fun times. Mez. Guy couldn't get the internet to work. The whole machine was encrypted like hell. Way odd for just casually having some privacy measures. Almost every app was a VPN, Tor or privacy app. So much stuff it didn't even function anymore due to the conflicts in routing. No idea what he was hiding, or how Loath was hiding it. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.